What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and you know what? Nothing gets me more upset than headlines like this, okay? Nothing gets me more angry when I see stuff like this about Star Wars, because this is the kind of stuff that led Star Wars down the wrong path a long time ago. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer frustrated by Disney Plus show's canon restrictions. So this guy, he didn't want to be restricted by the canon, okay? He just wanted to go off and write whatever it is that he wanted to write, but he wasn't interested in sticking to canon, sticking to the script, which is what I always talk about, okay? And when I say sticking to the script, what I mean is, hey, look, there's a way this thing is supposed to go, all right? There's a way that this particular franchise has to go in order for it to be successful. Yes, there are things that you could do that are a little bit different than regular canon, okay? You don't have to just make a space opera every single time out. We're seeing that right now with Andor. Okay, Star Wars fans are loving Andor. That doesn't mean that every single Star Wars film, every single Star Wars property has to be a space opera with lightsabers, with Jedi and Sith and all of that. It doesn't have to be. This is what Andor is doing, kind of what I have always said Star Wars can do. And they finally found somebody that has the intelligence and the writing capability and the guts to just say, hey, we're going to push this thing into a different direction and we're going to have a good time with it. And it's working, okay? But then you get yak asses like this. Oh, canon's restricting me. I can't just write whatever I want to write. This is the damn problem with Star Wars. You have to stick to canon. When you're talking about a franchise that has never had a reboot, a remake, or anything like that, right? That's what Star Wars is. Star Wars hasn't had remakes. There's nobody, we remade Star Wars 4 or 5 different times. No. It's never had a remake. It's never had a reboot, okay? Everything is all in one universe. There's only one Star Wars universe. So you damn right canon matters, man. And this guy, I don't want to stick to canon. I want to do what I want to do. I bet this dude was a jerk in the damn writing room, man. He was one of those people, probably just annoying as hell. Like, man, I don't want to write this. Can we do this? Can we play around with this? No, we can't do any of that. You have to stick to the script. Let's go ahead and read this, man. Wall-E director Andrew Stanton from Pixar, of all places. Man, they usually have really good writers that understand this type of stuff. But in this situation, nah, they messed it up, man. They got this dope. Who co-wrote the final 2 episodes of Disney Plus's Obi-Wan, has had some challenges with the restrictions working on the Star Wars series regarding the canon storyline. Says here, Lucasfilm and Disney series Obi-Wan Kenobi wrapped up its 6-episode runtime some months ago. While it didn't take the world by storm, there's a reason why it didn't take the world by storm, because you had jackasses like this dude in the writer's room. It was still a very popular show in its own right. Kenobi, of course, saw Ewan McGregor's legendary Jedi Master take on Darth Vader in a high-stakes rematch. Think about that. Let's stop. Time out for a minute. Think about what they just said there, okay? You got Ewan McGregor coming back to play Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's going up against Darth Vader, who's played by Hayden Christensen, okay? That dude is in the suit. He's put himself back into the Star Wars universe. Everybody's excited for his return. Everybody's excited for Ewan McGregor's return, okay? And what happened? It says it right there. It didn't take the world by storm. People that they had writing this thing and directing this thing, they just don't understand what it is that Star Wars fans are looking for, okay? These people do not understand Star Wars fans. They understand maybe filmmaking, fine. You understand how to write a film, fine. But you have to understand the audience. And that's why I constantly keep coming back to the same refrain of listen to the fans and you can't go wrong. But when you decide, well, I know better than the fans, I know what the fans want, you're going to drop the ball eventually at some point in time. You're not going to make what the fans are looking for, okay? Because you don't really understand your audience. That's like the biggest thing with these guys. They don't understand who they're making these films for. At some point right now, I'm ready to start going just straight up, hey, you got to pass a trivia contest. You got to win a trivia contest. You got to win. You got to know Star Wars before you can make Star Wars. I'm at that point right now. If you don't know the Star Wars, if you can't win this trivia contest, and I want to be the contestant, I'm going to be the guy, hey, you got to beat me. If you can beat me in the Star Wars trivia contest, all right, man, cool, you can make a film. But if you can't beat me in the Star Wars trivia contest, I don't want you anywhere around this thing. I don't want you as a director or writer, an actor, producer, nothing. No, you can't. No. The answer is no. I wish I was Kathleen Kennedy right now. I'd be like, nah, hell no, we getting good shit right here. We're not doing this no more, okay? Jesus Christ, this is so frustrating. And this stuff, the entire season was driving towards the former friend's faithful lightsaber clash on the unnamed planet. I don't know why they even had that nonsense. Like, there was no reason, honestly, to have Obi-Wan fight Vader at all, except for fan service, okay? And that was fine for me. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll take some good fan service every once in a while. You got to tickle my fandom with some good fan service, and it wasn't even that good. It was like, oh, what a waste, man. What a waste of a series. Now, the Star Wars franchise sense of canon has always been somewhat free-flowing, but the live-action properties, at least, are seemingly made to follow a strict sense of continuity, and it seems that Andrew Stanton, who helped write Kenobi's 5th and 6th chapters, took some issue with these limitations. So let's just go ahead and skip to here's what he said. That was the blessing and the curse of it. It's like, one, you're geeking out that you get the type Vader says this and Kenobi says that. You pause, and I can't believe I'm actually getting paid to type this. I can't believe these words may be said. But then another part of you, it has to go through such a rigorous, like, does that fit into the canon? And I feel like it's bittersweet. Why? Why is it bittersweet that you have to stick to the canon that fans, millions and millions of fans across the world know? Okay? If you don't want to stick to the canon, go. Get lost. I don't want you around. You got to stick to the canon. Yes, that's one of the requirements. That is one of the requirements for writing a part of this universe. You got to stick to the canon. Star Wars fans want one canon from beginning to end, okay? Nothing breaks canon. Nothing contradicts canon. There's no storylines that are, oh, well, you know, maybe we can see this in a certain point of view. And I get it. Star Wars has always had that certain point of view style storytelling. I accept that, okay? And I think most Star Wars fans accept that. But you can't feel bittersweet about it, okay? You can't be like, well, it's fun, but man, I can't just go ahead and do what I want to do, because that's what he says here. The reason that it happens is because people care. But it also kind of doesn't allow sometimes things to venture beyond maybe where they should to tell a better story. So it can sometimes really handicap what I think are better narrative options. You don't have that option, okay? You didn't write Star Wars, all right? That's George Lucas. Andrew Stanton. Do something with Wally, okay? Go take Wally and expand that into a giant universe of different characters and different situations and different storylines where people just love it, okay? Go do that with your shit, okay? But Star Wars is Star Wars, okay? And yeah, you got to play within this little box. Now, the box is big. To me, I think the box is big. And one of the issues that I think going back into time and telling these stories again and again and again is you keep running into this. That's why they need to move 200 years into the future with Star Wars storytelling. They got to get away from this particular era. They got to start moving forward, okay? Then guys like Andrew Stanton, who might actually have some good ideas. I don't know. He might actually have some good ideas. He can extend canon. Yeah, we always going to come back to the original. It's always going to be Star Wars, but we're going to go beyond and we're going to start telling other stories, okay? With new Jedi, new Sith, maybe different types of Force users, new characters, new storylines, new this, new that. You got to go beyond. Star Wars is just limited, telling the stories again in this little 80-year window, and they got to adhere to it. And I'm sorry, if that's what you choose to do, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it, but you got to stick to the script. You can't just go off and do what you want to do. No, bro, we're not going for that. Stanton went on to add that he was sometimes frustrated with the writing process due to continuity restrictions. Yes, you're supposed to be. He referenced Andor as being easier to write for, with that show existing in a safe spot in continuity. And so I was frustrated sometimes, not a lot, but I just felt it wasn't as conducive to the story. I love it when something like Andor is in a safe spot. It can just do whatever the heck it wants, but it can't. Like, Andor just can't do whatever the heck it wants. They can't just go amok and just do whatever they want with Mon Mothma, for instance. All right? Mon Mothma is an established character. They got to stick to the script with her, too. We don't know a lot about Mon Mothma's past, so they can tell some different types of stories with it, but they can't just do what they want, okay? They gotta make her a senator. She's gotta have a certain type of a personality and so on. If all of a sudden Mon Mothma is like down in the trenches, doing all of that crap, everybody's gonna call bullshit. Oh man, what the hell is this crap? Man, nope, I'm done, out, okay? They can't just do what they want. They gotta stick to the script. But I felt, Joby, I guess that's the guy that produced it, to his credit, kept the story alive and kept trying to thread the needle so that the story wouldn't suffer, but it would please all the people that were trying to keep it in the canon. But I got some moments in there that I'm happy with. And then it asked this dumb question, and this is probably the worst question of all. Is Star Wars continuity hurting its future? No, it's not. It's not. What's hurting its future is the lack of creativity from these bozos that's making Star Wars. You guys can't play within this particular playground. Don't play over here, okay? There's plenty of other playgrounds out there for y'all to mess around in, okay? This playground takes a special kind of writer. I'm telling you, we need to start having some applications like, oh, by the way, did you pass DA's Star Wars trivia contest? Did you pass that? No? Oh, okay, you know, I'm sorry, yeah, you're off the list. Yeah, you gotta pass that trivia contest before you can come up in here, baby, okay? You can't just come in here and just do whatever you want to do. Nope, you gotta pass his trivia contest. Having a sense of canon continuity and interconnectedness is very important in any big-name media franchise. It's different with Star Wars. To me, Star Wars is different. Star Wars is one single unit, okay? There haven't been multiple iterations of Star Wars, except, you know, obviously they canceled out the EU and made it Legends, okay? But on film, cartoons, TV shows, it's one continuity. There are no other continuities, okay? It's like Marvel, right? Like Marvel has the MCU and you can consider that like one canon, one stretch, okay? But that hasn't existed for 45 years, number one. And number two, there's been other things like, you know, the X-Men is coming in, Daredevil is in, right? They've had different iterations of these particular characters and these particular storylines, okay? Fantastic Four is about to come in, all right? You've had different iterations of all kinds of different Marvel characters and comics and stuff. Spider-Man, there's been different iterations of Spider-Man, okay? And all of that stuff through DC and Marvel, there's been different things that have shown up on film, on cartoons, etc. Star Wars has none of that. Star Wars is one story, and that's it. And yes, you have to stick to the script. I'm sorry. It's very important. It's more important in Star Wars than it is in any of these other franchises. But when it comes at the expense of creative liberty, I don't care about your creative liberty. You got creative liberty in every other thing that you want to create, okay? This belongs to George, all right? You're going to do George properly or you're not going to be here. That's how I feel about it. For some of the top talent in the industry, then it might be time to rethink things. The reason Andor is so praised is that it plays outside the box a bit and mixes up Star Wars house style. No, the reason that Andor is good is because it's well written and it doesn't go out of its way to try to, oh, we're going to do something different with Leia, or we're going to do something different with Obi-Wan, or we're going to do something different with Vader, or they're going to, no. It sticks to the script. It found a corner of the universe where it said, you know what? We've never talked about any of these characters. We're introducing new characters, right? That's what Andor is doing, right? Andor introduces new characters. It gives us new situations and new storylines that we've never played around with. That's kind of the same thing with The Mandalorian. That particular era, it's like, it's untouched. But these guys that want to try to go back and tell a story about Obi-Wan in this little narrow window of time and try to somehow make that fit with what happened back in 1977, it was doomed to fail. And I'm sorry, as much as I love the actors that played in Obi-Wan, specifically Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, I can't give that show a pass. Just because I like those guys playing those characters, I can't give that show a pass. I'm surprised they said, hey, whoa, what's going on? Hey, we need to clean this up because this isn't Obi-Wan. This isn't Vader. This isn't what we made back in the early 2000s. You guys got to do a little bit better. But anyway, folks, that's where we're at with Star Wars. Man, it seemed like every other week it's an article somewhere that's just going to piss me off about Star Wars. But you guys go ahead, jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and your suggestions and opinions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.